know something pop up on yours. Sometimes it's late. They pop up. They probably hear. I'll share here. You got the Esther.
Probably pop on my cause my dad tried right now.
They ain't pop up on mine. Sound good. All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash.
double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations. Hopefully, they got there pushing His word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to hopefully the believers and listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. All right, with GMS Mississippi Camp, and brother Yasha Moff to my right.
Allah.
Okay, and we're going into a lesson, entitled "The Working Man, Gets No Love," and this is a society, that's social engineered by Esau Edom to where people value, the most vain thing. This is extremely vain society, where vanity is held in great esteem. People spend their whole day, okay, and eventually their whole life chasing vanity, man. Okay, chasing clout, chasing popularity, okay, keeping up with celebrity gossip, trying to look like the celebrity, trying to act like the celebrity, but it's all vanity, man. Okay, and at the end of the day, when you look at how society operates, Esau has the value, the average man to spittle in this society, man. Okay, that's why the average woman in her mind, if she deals with an average man, she's selling, she's missing out, she's not getting, the best she can get if she's dealing, with just an average working man. And that concept comes from Esau Edom, man, through his media, through his music. Cause you listen to rappers when they be talking about broke niggas and what Cardi B say, broke niggas don't deserve no box. You know, she ain't just talking about niggas that's homeless. She talking about Jake that ain't got just surplus amounts of money. He talking to working class nigga like okay. Yes, I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, one point is like, look, I was from my using myself in an example, I was at work one day, right? Just working, I had to pass a couple females, right? And because I was sweating at work, they said gross.
Yeah.
You sweating at work and they think the working man is gross.
Yeah.
That's their mindset.
Yeah. But everybody it benefits off the working man. Okay? And see, it starts from the top. Esau pushed their narrative from the top as if the working man is irrelevant. The whole thing, I don't need no man. Mainly talking about what? Just the average working man. Because women still was a condition to chase what? High earning men and street niggas.
The working man is just a stepping stool to get to the high earning man.
Yeah, what they call placeholders. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, we don't feel no type of way about it. Now we glad it's like that. Like knowing what we know now, we glad that it's set up like that, man. There's less distraction and less hassle for us. That's in this ministry, man. That's fighting for salvation. So this ain't a lesson to try to persuade, Eve to see value in a working man. Like, nah, we just going into what it is, man. Okay? So let's get that because it all starts with the leadership, okay? Which is the leadership is Esau Edom right now. But we're gonna go to an account, in the book of Esther, okay? Hey, well, leadership had to make a call because it would affect, you know, the working class men. Even every man in the realm would be affected. Go ahead.
This is Esther chapter 1 verse 18. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto the king, unto all the kings princes which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Now go start at one. Start at one.
Start at one.
Yeah.
Verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Asharis.
Xerxes.
This is Asharis which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 170 and 20 providence.
Mm-hmm.
That in those days when the king of Asharis sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was Shushan the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princesses and his servants, the powers of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the province being there before him.
Yeah, so he's throwing the big feast, within this kingdom, starting at his palace, his capital in Shushan. Okay, he's inviting all his princes and nobles. Go ahead.
When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of all his excellency majesty, many days, even 180 days, and when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace.
Yeah, so he pretty much was taking them on tour of his kingdom because the Media Persian Empire was a vast kingdom. It said 180 days, 180 days, so pretty much half a year he spent showing off, his kingdom. And then when he got back to the capital, he had a feast. All right, go ahead.
Both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
Yep.
Where were white and green and blue hanging fasted and cord with fine linen and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon pavement, and of red and of blue and white and black marble.
Go ahead.
And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another, and royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king.
Yeah, so they decked out. It's decked out. He decked out. He got the palace decked out. Everybody drinking out of gold vessels, and it said one diverse from another. So everyone had their own unique vessel, with his own different stones and different things. It was handcrafted. You see? Go ahead.
And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Yeah, so just have it. Drink and eat how you want. Okay, go ahead.
Also, Vashti, Vashti,
yep.
The queen made a feast for the woman in the royal house which belonged to the king Assuerus.
Yeah, so his queen threw a feast, and she had the liberty to do that. Like, that's another thing. Like in the kingdom, women gonna be straight. Like the king, the women gonna have their own quarters and their own maids, and they can throw feasts how they want, So she was doing that, doing a little thing on the side, man. Go ahead.
On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman,
yep.
Bizada, Harbana, Biggatha, and Abagat, Zetar, and Karsis, 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ashur the king.
Yep. Go ahead.
To bring Vashti, that's the name?
Yeah, Vashti. Yep.
Yeah, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal. to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
Yeah, so he's in his mirth. He's sipping, chilling, everybody balling. You know, and he like, shit, go get Vashti. You know, let me show these, show these folks what I got in the stable, man. You know, so the king like, go get Vashti, man. You see? Go ahead.
But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned him, and in his anger burned in him.
She refused the king in front of all those people, man. And it shows you how goddamn stupid a woman is, man. Here it is. Why would you do that in front of all these people? A king ruled by his word, by his might. So now this shows a weakness, like, because, you know, somebody spying it out. It's a spy there. You know, they're like, damn, he can't even control this woman. So now the whole empire under threat, because this bitch don't even want to come see, you know, come and join her husband. Then it ain't like, you know, it's her husband. Tripping. She tripping. Go ahead.
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, so what the king's manners towards all that new law and judgment. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shetar, Admitha, Tarshish, Mershish, Marshina, and Memucan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat at the first in the kingdom.
So they seen he was pissed, man. You know? Now this is what they tell him. Go ahead.
What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? Because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains.
Go ahead.
And
Memucan
answered before the king and the princess, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the province of the king Ahasuerus.
Go ahead.
For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husband in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Yeah, so they like, look, if she's allowed to do this to you, your princes, your nobles, and the working man wouldn't stand a chance. So they were like, nah, we gotta nip this in the bud. We can't let this slide, man. Okay, go ahead.
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say unto this day, all the king's princes which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Yeah, so it'd be an uproar. You know? So these are the men that was in power, and they had a consideration of the ripple effect that would have, man. You know? And see, that's why in our kingdom, we're going to have a consideration towards the working man. After 1,000 years of captivity, in our kingdom, the working man is going to have a reverence. But see, we had to be in this position, so we can understand, okay, the importance of ruling, okay, with all fairness, man, to every class of people, man, from the working man to the high earner man, to the noble man, to the princes, to the kings. Like, nah, it's a reverence to every class of men. There's supposed to be some level of reverence, man. We understand this now. This is why the Lord has us in this position. Get that in Psalm 82 and 6. We can start at 5, then read 6. These are all lessons that we're going through, man. So we get these experiences so we can rule with all balance in the kingdom, man. Okay, this is a side that teaches what? The shit on the working man. Go ahead.
The Psalms chapter 82 verse 5.
Yep.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk all in darkness.
Start at 4. Sorry.
Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked.
Yep.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. all the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Yeah, so we're asking to be delivered, man. Like now we see this society ain't it, man. And this is more reason for us not to take the sea hill. We have no reason to take the sea hill. Why? Okay, to plug back into what? A society where as a man you're unappreciated, when you overworked and unappreciated, okay, and there's no perks. There's really no perks here for just a working class man. You know, like it's over with, man. So why would we take the sea hip to stay working class men in a society that already shits on you, man? You know, but the Lord's setting it up like this, so it's gonna be easy to make that transition, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 6. Want me to continue?
Yeah, verse 6. Yeah.
Verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Yeah, we are gods, children of the Most High. But go ahead.
But ye shall die like men.
We shall die like men, which means a lower state. The Lord put us in this lower state for a reason, man. Okay? For punishment, and so we can really get that frontline experience of being on the bottom, man. Now we know how not to rule, man. Now we know that you know there should be a reverence for every class of men, because all of them are needed. And let's get that. Let's get that in that Sirach 38 and 24. Okay?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 24. The wisdom of the learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
Yeah, the wisdom of the learned man come by opportunity of leisure. Okay? That's why, you know, the men that are in leadership positions as nobles, you know, highborn, you know, princes, kings, all right? They wouldn't do the labors, the day-to-day labors, okay, that it takes to run the kingdom. They will oversee those things, okay? And they will become wise in their decision-making to oversee those things, man. Okay? That's why the Levites, they didn't work, because they had the duty of the temple. And you go back to types. The types was the salary for the Levites. You know, everybody else worked in the agriculture and livestock, and you know, did their art, you know, their handiwork, carpentry, architecture. All the other tribes did that. So Levi could just focus on the temple, okay, and the tents will go to the Levites, you know, for their salary, man. Okay. You got something to say?
Yeah, that's why a prince will have a different upbringing than most other children. He will have to learn geometry, history, the providence, how this works, how that works, so what he can be a better leader, ruler, know how to move, you know, order people around.
Yeah, you got to learn the science of agriculture. You know, you have to learn, you know, different languages. Okay, astrology. You know, you have to, you know. Well, astronomy, because astrology is witchcraft, but astronomy, you know, is just a knowledge, you know, of the celestial, you know. And you have to learn them things, man. People management, financing. You see, you have to learn these things, you know. He would have to have leisure time to do it, okay. But the scriptures say even the king is fed of the herb, I think. Let me see. I think that's in yep, this is Ecclesiastes 5 and 9 real quick. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. Okay, so what the earth brings forth, but the earth has to be cultivated for it to bring forth. Okay, there has to be a labor put into the earth for the earth to bring forth and be, you know, usable for the inhabitants, man. Okay, and who's responsible for that, man? The working class. Okay, before you can move into this apartment, for your independent ass can move into this apartment or a house, okay, there has to be dirt work done. Okay, there has to be steel has to be made. The rebar first has to be made, then it has to be fabricated, then it has to be shipped, then the concrete poured, then sheetrock, and then electrical work. Then you get to move in and take your pictures on Instagram, man. You see? All that went into that, but then you see the guy that's the electrician or the that bend the rebar. You see them out in public, and you, nigga ain't shit.
Hmm.
Broke ass nigga, you know. But goddamn, you know. Go ahead, brother.
Verse
Hold on,
24.
let me finish. It says, oh yeah, it said, moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field, so the king even eat of the field, and the field is worked by who? Laborers, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 24. The wisdom of the learned man coming by opportunity of leisure,
Yep.
and he that have little business shall become wise.
Go ahead.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow,
Yep.
and that glorieth in the God
Yep.
that driveth the oxen, and is occupied in their labor, and whose talk of bullocks.
Yeah. So those that are in agriculture, you know, driving the ox, you know, which is working the land. Okay. How can he become wise? Because he's so occupied in laboring. You know, and they're just a part of society. You're gonna need laborers, man. You see? And what we're learning in this kingdom is to appreciate laborers, man. Okay, because it spoke about oxen. Go to 1 Kings 4 or 24.
It's 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 24. For he had dominion over all the region of this side of the river from Tipsach and even.
Let me see. I want to go to the daily provision. Okay, yeah, go 22. Yep, read 22. Now this was Solomon's daily provision. Go ahead.
It's 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 22. And Solomon provisions for one day was 30 measures of fine flour and 60 measures of meal.
Yep, go ahead.
10 fat oxen and 20 oxen out of the pasture,
Go ahead.
and 100 sheep, besides hearts and roebucks.
Yep.
And,
deer. Go ahead.
And fellow deer.
Yep.
And fatted fowl.
Yep. With your chicken. Go ahead.
For he had dominion over all the region of this side of the river.
Yeah. So Solomon was in rulership, but it went into his daily provision. You know, 3 fine, you know, measures of meal, which is his, you know, the desserts, the dainties, you know, the oxen. All of them just jump on the plate. You know, it didn't just they had to be slaughtered, okay, butchered, okay, prepared. Then it was ready to serve, man. It was on a daily basis, man. So it was a workforce that did that. Okay, so now let's go back into Sirach 38 and 25, and let's just read it all the way through and get to the point. I want Javante and Keisha go to these restaurants because pretty much, you know, these women, you know, the modern woman, you know, they love to go to these little restaurants. Well, how's the food prepared? Somebody got to they broke ass cook got to be back there. You know, he got to be back there.
Someone gotta wash the dishes they eat off.
Yeah, somebody gotta wash the dishes. You know. Okay, he's not, you know, on this great status, but he's necessary, man. And it's gonna go into. Go ahead, man.
Verse 25. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and glory in the gold that driveth the oxen, and is occupied in their labor, whose talk is of bullocks?
Go ahead.
He giveth his minds to make furrows, and his delight to give the knife fodder.
Go ahead.
So every carpenter and workmaster that labored night and day, and they that cut and grave seals, and are delighted to make great verities and give themselves to counterfeit imagery
Mm-hmm.
and watch to finish a work.
Go ahead.
The smith also sitteth by the anvil, and considering the ironwork and vapor of the fire wasted his flesh, and he fighteth with the heat of the furnace, and the noise of the hammer and the anvil is even in his ears.
And it's some hardcore work. Like them steel mills, like men die
Hmm.
to create steel for this infrastructure. You see? Men die. That's why, you brothers that work in any type of mill, any plant, especially in the steel mill, like they so serious on safety because hey, you can die any day, you know? But millions of tons of steel, okay, are needed for infrastructure, man. Yearly. Okay? Go ahead.
And his eyes look still upon the patterns of the thing that he maketh,
Yep.
and set it in his mind to finish his work,
Yep, go ahead.
and watch it to polish it perfectly. So he doth the potter sit, and so does the potter sitteth at his work, and turneth the wheel about with his feet, while he is always carefully set at his work, and maketh all his work by number.
Go ahead.
He fashioneth the clay with his arm, in the boat, and bowed down his strength before his feet.
Yep.
And he applied himself to lead it over, and he is delighted to make clean the furnace.
Yep, go ahead.
All these trust their hands, and everyone wise in his work.
Yeah, so these men, they're pretty much the Lord creates a class of men who are tapped into their craft. And it's finna tell us why. They're tapped in. They ain't got time to do a lot of other things because they're so into their craft. All right, and it's gonna go into why. Go ahead.
Without these cannot a city be inhabited.
Without these cannot a city be inhabited. These cell phones, the things that it takes, the raw material that it takes to make a cell phone has to be mined, has to be transported. Okay, so the same phone that you sit here and go live and worship your cell phone and take outfits on, men had to put in hard labor, okay, to mine those raw materials, man. Okay, but those same men are not appreciated nowhere. You see, there's women that have children with a nigga that stay with his auntie or his mama, but he a street nigga. He got street cred. Okay, but you gotta think, them niggas is not needed in the earth. A street nigga is not needed in the earth. A basketball player, a R&B singer, a rapper, them niggas is not needed in the earth. Okay, but you take away these industries from the world. You take away the steel industry. You take away, Issachar from building. You take away the architects, the engineers, okay, the miners, the garbage truck. Take away the garbage men, the people that do landscaping, okay. You take all that away in a month's time, and you see what the conditions of the earth would be like, man. Okay. If your AC go out, what you saying? If your AC go out, what the hell? If your AC go out while Chris Brown at your house, what what value is that nigga, man? Okay, it's gonna be that nigga, Andrew. Andrew gonna come in and save the day. Okay, he gonna fix the heat, then he gonna kick him out, and Chris Brown gonna pop your ass and probably give you an STD. Like this is some bullshit, man. But in our society, like I say, we're gonna know how it is to be in that working class, so we're gonna know how to judge it fairly, man. Cause this is some trash. Cause even in our kingdom, man, the working man, hey, he's gonna have his own women, okay? Because we're going back to virtue, or women will be virgins again. It ain't gonna be like this shit, man. Where the working man, get the woman after she done been pounded out for a decade, okay? Done got 2 or 3 degenerate baby daddies, okay? little monsters for for children, and now she presents herself to the working man, and then even then it's like she's settling.
Mm.
She'll never respect you, man. Like the most part, the majority of women on earth would never respect a working man. Okay? But the earth need those men to maintain itself. And that's why now the earth couldn't even maintain itself, because this generation of single mothers, they haven't raised the working class to replace this one.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no working class has been raised to maintain the working class that's finna leave, that's finna pass on, man. You know, because when I was working, that they said, it's one of the things that they was going through was trying to replace the people that were retiring and leaving. Like it's a gap, it's a big gap. Why? Because single mothers didn't raise another working class, man. Okay? It's over with. This place was to go on, like we see the effects of single mother culture now, but if this place was to go on, we will really see the effects of it, man. It'll be a suffering in the earth behind that, man. You know? But I think this is all I had. You had something else, bro?
Nah.
You know? So yeah, man, we brothers, we learning these things, Matter of fact, let's end it in Matthew let's get 19 and 27. Let's read that down to verse 30. We end it there. You know?
This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
Yep.
What shall we have therefore?
Yep.
And Yahushua answered unto them, Verily, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in a throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Now remember, Peter was what? They was fishermen. The disciples, they were working class men. And one none of them highborn. They was working class men. Yahushua was a carpenter. Okay? They would look at Yahushua like the modern woman look at Yahushua. He just, he a carpenter. Son of God, you a carpenter.
Out there sweating?
Yeah, a carpenter ass nigga. Yeah, sweating, yeah. You see? So he's telling working class men that, look, y'all forsook everything, y'all gonna
taking houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mothers, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Go ahead.
But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
And the last shall be first. So it was meant for us to be last, man. It was meant for us to be at the bottom of the bottom, man. The house of David. So we can learn, true balance when it comes to judging every class of people, when we get in our kingdom, when we sit on those thrones of rulership, being joint heirs with Yahushua, man. You get something.
Nah, I was about to say, it's really a rags to riches story, so you understand the bottom when you reach the top.
Yep. Come. Yep. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, you few sisters edified once again. We give all praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kakodash,
and double honors to the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to hopefully Shalom.
Shalom.